You're eating the same, moving the same, maybe even healthier than ever before. But you turn 40 and suddenly you're holding water. Your belly looks bloated, your energy dips, and the scale won't budge. And the first thing people say, it's just your hormones. But here's what no one tells you. What you eat can either work with your hormones or completely hijack them. And wheat, yeah, that's the heart healthy whole grain. It's one of those biggest hormonal hijackers out there. And I really don't think there's enough attention given to the subject. Hey y'all, welcome back to Doozy Talks with Susie, where we keep it real about fitness, nutrition, mindset, and how to live in sync with your body and your purpose. Today, we're talking about why wheat and women over 40 just don't mix, and how cutting it might help you rebalance your hormones, flatten your stomach, and finally feel like you again. After 40, estrogen starts to decline, progesterone drops faster, and cortisol, your stress hormone, loves to take the spotlight. The result? Well, your body becomes more sensitive to blood sugar spikes and stress. You can't get away with what you could in your 20s, and that's not your fault. Your metabolism slows, muscle recovery takes longer, and fat starts storing in new places. Now, enter wheat. Modern wheat spikes your blood sugar faster than table sugar. And yes, you heard that right. That sugar you took out of your coffee because you're trying to be healthier in the morning is actually having less of an impact on your blood sugar levels than that avocado toast you had for breakfast. Crazy, right? Every time you eat wheat, your insulin surges, and high insulin tells your body, hold on to fat, especially around the belly. When your estrogen and progesterone are already fluctuating, those spikes hit harder. Your hormones get thrown into chaos. So if you've ever thought, why do I gain weight just by looking at bread? It's not your imagination, it's biology. Let's break down all of this like a chain reaction so we can see how this works. So first, you eat some wheat. Blood sugar spikes. Insulin rises, cortisol follows. Now we're a little stressed out, right? So cortisol's job is to stabilize your blood sugar. But when it's chronically elevated, it blocks fat loss and increases water retention. That puffiness in your midsection, cortisol and inflammation teaming up like the worst duo ever. And here's where it gets more personal. Wheat also impacts your thyroid. Those gluten proteins can trigger autoimmune reactions in genetically sensitive people, especially women, which can slow thyroid function, tank energy, and cause weight gain even if you're eating clean. So now let's talk about something else that happens because there's also the gut hormone connection. So let's talk about your gut because hormones start there. When wheat damages the gut lining, it creates tiny gaps in your gut called leaky gut that allows toxins and food particles to sneak into your bloodstream, sparking inflammation. Inflammation increases cortisol. Cortisol throws off your sex hormones. You see the cycle? It gets crazy. Even worse, gut bacteria that help metabolize estrogen get thrown off balance, and that can cause estrogen dominance, leading to heavier cycles, mood swings, bloating, and breast tenderness. So when women say, oh, my hormones are out of control, sometimes it's not just menopause or age, it's that gut hormone loop has been hijacked by constant wheat exposure. And let's be honest, we've been told it needs to be a large portion of our diet. So it's not really your fault that you're following the heart healthy recommendations. It's just we've been misinformed a little bit. And here's the thing, I don't know about you, but I refuse to let a piece of bread control my mood anymore. Now, there's also another angle we are going to look at because I think it is extremely important. This was actually what completely helped change. I was already working towards this, but whenever I looked at this aspect, it changed everything for me. And that is my DNA and the detox angle because you've got all of these genes in your body, this whole long string of DNA. And if there's these variants in the DNA, it's going to impact how your body processes food and uses food and digests food. So if you've got genetic variations like MTHFR, COMT, or GSTP1, your detox and methylation systems already work a little slower. So when you need to clean up the excess hormones or inflammation, it takes a little extra effort. You need a little extra help. So, for women with these gene variants, even a little gluten can lead to bloating, fatigue, and mental fog because your body can't detox efficiently while fighting inflammation at the same time. It's like trying to clean your house during a hurricane. The moment you remove that constant trigger, though, your liver, your gut, and hormones, they finally get a break. And that's why so many women report clearer skin, better sleep, and faster fat loss within weeks of ditching wheat. So, really, it's not age, I would say. It's more just an overload. All right, so I've told you all of this stuff. What do we do instead? Well, if you're looking to cut wheat, what are some good suggestions I've got? And I just try to keep it simple. You could try chia pudding with scrambled eggs. Now, chia pudding is delicious. My body specifically doesn't process the chia seeds very well, so keep that one in mind. Personally, for me, my breakfast looks more like scrambled eggs and some ground beef with a little salt on it. Tasty, works great. There's also Greek yogurt if your body tolerates it well. You could have that with some berries. Personally, for me, again, because I know I'm not the only one out there, Greek yogurt doesn't really process well for me. So then I go back to meat and eggs because my body can process those without any issues. For lunch, you could try swapping sandwiches for things like rice bowls, lettuce wraps, cassava tortillas. You'll get fiber and satisfaction without the sugar spikes. And if your body doesn't process those well, then you could try dropping those and focusing on protein intake. Women really do need to eat a lot of protein. I think they undercut their protein. Almost every woman I know does not eat enough protein in her diet. So I strongly encourage you try to get 40 or 50 grams of protein per meal. People are like, that's so much. It's not that much. Once you get used to it, it's like nothing. For dinner, zucchini noodles. I'm not a big fan of zucchini noodles, but I do like spaghetti squash. I love all the squashes. It's the only vegetable I have found so far that does not upset my stomach in some way. Most vegetables and fruit and grains and beans, they tend to upset my stomach. I end up with bloating and inflammation and mood swings. I just feel like awful. And cramping, I also cramp really bad. So, but with the spaghetti squash or acorn squash or butternut squash, yellow squash, I don't have those issues. So if you're like me and you've got issues with eating, I can have a little bit of rice. I can have some white rice, but I have to keep it very limited. That's what I would recommend to have for your dinner with your protein, because we need our protein. And let me tell you, your gut will thank you and you'll sleep better too. You'll start sleeping really good because your blood sugar is going to be more stable. If you've got stable blood sugar, you're going to have more stable hormones, which is what your body needs. And if you love to bake, I love to bake. Experiment with almond flour, coconut flour. I enjoy using oat flour. Did I mention tapioca flour? Those are all great to use. They're hormone friendly, blood sugar stable. So look out for those. They're great. You can get them at any grocery store. But then, of course, there's sweet Brenda who comes in and says, well, wheat is fine in moderation. Well, Brenda also says her moderation looks like 2 bagels and a muffin before lunch. So we love her, but we're not taking hormone advice from the bakery aisle. Literally, moderation, you're still eating the wheat. Try going a few days without it, maybe even 3 weeks. If you can manage 3 weeks, see how you feel. So here's the truth. Wheat might not make everyone sick, but if you're a woman over 40 struggling with fatigue, bloating, or stubborn fat, your hormones are whispering to you. They're like, it's time. Let's just drop the wheat, please. Because ditching wheat isn't deprivation, it's a liberation. Literally, you will feel so much better. It'll make you not want to go back to it. You just got to go through the withdrawals because, as I mentioned in another video about wheat, when you eat it, it creates this opioid-like effect, so you become addicted to the wheat. So you got to go through the withdrawals, and then you'll realize, oh, I actually feel like amazing now. Because what you're doing is you're giving your body the calm that it needs to heal and to balance and to thrive again. Now, if you could, go ahead and drop a wheat emoji in the comments if you're ready to say goodbye to wheat for 30 days. And ladies, even if you're not 40 years old yet, and maybe you're still in your 30s and you're just trying to figure stuff out, this is something to take into account. And if you're struggling with your hormone balance, maybe consider dropping wheat for a little while and see how you feel. And for everybody else, if you want me to make a video on how to reintroduce the foods safely after you're 40 years old, comment reset. You've worked too hard for your health to let a piece of bread boss you around. Let's rebuild your health from the inside out. I'll see you guys in the next video.